Herzlich willkommen hier am Konfi Kanal zum 4. Car Reveal der 2024er Season. Mit dabei wieder der gute Chibi und Daniel und meine Wenigkeit.
Morgen.
Weiter.
Morgen.
Kopa muss sich weiter entschuldigen lassen, weil immer noch unterwegs. Und wir haben den nächsten Car Reveal vor uns, nämlich Alpine stellt sein Auto vor.
Richtig.
Letztes Jahr bekannt für teilweise pinke Livery, die sie zweimal genutzt haben. Schauen wir, ob wir diesmal wieder eine pinke Livery bekommen.
Richtig.
Oder wie es diesmal ausschaut.
Wird man sehen. Eine Sache noch als Anmerkung. Falls ihr noch fragen sollte, McLaren kommt noch später. Ich weiß, da gab es schon ein Bild zu, aber es soll noch ein offizieller Reveal kommen. Bis dahin warten wir noch.
Also McLaren bekommt noch einen offiziellen Reveal-Stream. Also da ist noch die offizielle Ankündigung.
Deswegen darauf warten wir noch. Aber ja, machen wir mal los, würde ich sagen.
Ja, dann auf 0 muss ich gehen.
Logisch.
Dann 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello.
Hi.
I think that deserves a round of applause.
Random Applaus. So,
Hello
alle
and
Leute müssen
welcome to
klatschen.
the 2024 Alpine Motorsports launch. I'm Rachel Brooks and I work for Sky Sports F1, and it is an absolute privilege to be here today on this very, very special day. Alpine has an illustrious history. Its DNA is embedded in motorsports. The brand was founded in 1955. It shone through the 70s with World Rally and World Endurance. And in more recent years, Alpine entered into the pinnacle of motorsports with Formula One. Now, over the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to go behind the scenes together, first in endurance and then in Formula One. And this afternoon, you will discover much more than the liveries. In this dual Formula One and World Endurance presentation, you will get a sneak peek at the actual cars today. These are not last year's cars with this year's liveries. They're the real thing, so make the most of it this afternoon. Now, 2024 is the first year of the Alpine Hypercar project. The team's been working really, really hard to make the final adjustments. And this A424 that you'll see in a few moments was on track in Barcelona just a few days ago. After this, it's going straight off to Qatar for the first race of the season. It's also going to be an exciting year for the BWT Alpine F1 team and its new investors, Otmar Capital, Redbird Capital Partners and Maximum Effort Investments, headlined, of course, by some familiar names and faces, as I'm sure you already know. So where better to start this presentation and to present this A524 Formula One car for you than here, the very place where it's been designed and developed. I know you're eager to see both cars and, of course, meet the drivers. So let's crack on. Alpine is one of the brands that's most engaged across all the FIA motorsport disciplines, from F1 to endurance, from single-seaters to rally and Pikes Peak, and into the virtual world, of course, of esports. Alpine is truly passionate about developing motorsports excellence. So let's have a look now at the exciting world of Alpine Motorsports.
Du hast Alpine letztes Jahr abgeschlagen ging so Mittelfeld, oder?
Mittelfeld. Ja, so wir sind mitten drin irgendwo.
Kann ich vielleicht sagen?
Ja, ganz lieb. Oh, das Ja, man darf nicht vergessen, Alpine ist ja auch schon eine Weile unterwegs jetzt.
Ja.
Als Tochterfirma von Renault ja eigentlich, deswegen logisch, dass jetzt das ist, aber ist immer noch okay. Aber deswegen, man darf halt nicht vergessen, dass es halt auch so eine Edelmarke ist, so eine Sportwagenmarke, die man irgendwie gerne mal vergisst, aber durchaus seine Präsenz.
Sechster. Sind Sechster geworden
Genau,
mit 120.
Ja.
I think,
120
definitely
Punkte.
deserves a round of applause for the heart racing. It's my pleasure now to introduce to you Alpine's VP of Motorsports. Please join me in welcoming Bruno Fama. Bruno, thank you so much for joining us. Ça va?
Ça va, Rachel, ça va. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming here today. Thank you for everyone watching live. I'm really excited and happy to be here today. It's a very special moment. As you said, we are going to unveil those cars, the lineup. and it's a very special day because it's Pierre's birthday, and happy birthday, Pierre.
Ja, alles gut.
Alles Gute.
I
Ja,
know you've got a
Junge!
fantastic
Pierre
history.
Gasly!
I'm curious to know, though, where your love for it all began.
It started when I was a kid, really, the passion for motorsport. I had the opportunity to go to the 24 Hours of Le Mans when I was 10 years old. And then I tried to really work hard and to study engineering to go into motorsport. And the dream came true. And I won Le Mans, I won Dakar, I won Pikes Peak. And more than that, looking at the future, I'm super excited to now lead this amazing Alpine motorsport project.
Well, Alpine is Renault Group's cutting-edge motorsports brand, and it's pronounced a new product lineup by 2030. Can you tell me how motorsports is influencing the next generation of road cars?
We are really proud to be transferring technology from the track to the road. And for that, really, for having that opportunity, I would like to thank Renault Group CEO Luca De Meo, who is here with us today. Also thanking Philippe Krief, Alpine CEO, and really excited.
More exciting news. First electric car from Alpine too.
Yeah, the A290 will be the first Alpine electric car, a key milestone in the Renaulution plan and in the Alpine project.
Loads of great things ahead then. Tell us more about why Alpine is so heavily involved in motorsports in particular, though.
Alpine was born from racing. Motorsport are the perfect match for us. We are really excited to bring emotion, transfer technology, and make the brand shine. Today, we will discover the hypercar A424 and the new Formula One A524. And Alpine is one of the two manufacturers in the world that can do this. Formula One and WEC are really complementary to develop Alpine brand awareness everywhere in the world. It's a real challenge to be at this level of competition.
Da also, ob das LED wäre, extra.
Ja,
Von
vielleicht
vorne
It's
rechts.
been an exciting road for Alpine.
Es könnte aber einfach nur Schein sein von einem Licht oder so.
A424 show car that was revealed last June. So
Beleuchtet immer.
let's check
Blau,
out some of
rot,
the
grün,
highlights and
lila.
look closely because it'll be your first glimpse of the A424.
Das ist ja ihr Langstreckenauto.
Endurance, ja. Und dieses A als Licht, lol. Okay, das ist ein cooler Effekt mit den Lichtern, das ist schon nice. Ich gebe mir leider in Endurance zu wenig aus, um nur das zu beurteilen, aber hey, why not? Dann schick. Liverys zumindest.
I mean, it's a beauty, right?
Wie gesagt, die Alpine-Lichter sind halt irgendwie nice.
And fantastic to get a close-up look at this stunning piece of engineering. So, I think it must be the perfect time then to introduce to you Alpine's endurance team manager, Philippe Sinot. Ça va?
Ça va?
Thank you very much for joining us here today.
Hello everyone.
Alpine's entering a really competitive hypercar category at the moment. It's a car that's been developed in-house, but it's a milestone in Alpine's motorsport history. We know the competition is going to be fierce, but it's a massive moment for the team, isn't it? And for you yourself, I imagine. Tell me how it feels.
As you can imagine, we are really proud, so proud to be there with our Alpine Endurance team. First of all, I would like to thank Luca Di Meo, Philippe Krief, and Bruno as well. Together, we're making this project a reality. So it's a great moment for us.
And long-standing partners back with you, Elf again as well.
Yes, one of the most faithful partners of the endurance program.
This is the culmination of many years hard work, isn't it, this project?
As you know, Alpine has a long story with Le Mans. We had some success over the 10 last year, some wins, some titles. I think we are ready now to step up for the WEG challenge into hypercar category.
And Bruno, if I can ask you, talking of the hypercar project, how did it all get started here?
Alpine started the hypercar project about 18 months ago. In June 2023, we presented the show car in Le Mans during the Le Mans week. And since we are
By the way, beim
running-
Le Mans ist halt klassisch, also das ist Hypercar.
We have not much time and,
Vor allem das Hypercar, das ist das klassische Ding für FIA Endurance Championship.
working well and I'm very happy and proud
Das sind
to
auch die
have,
Dinger, die mit
Philippe
auf Le
on
Mans
board as the team
rumfahren zum
principal of
Beispiel.
the Alpine Endurance Team.
I can only imagine, Philippe, how intense your testing program has
Deswegen
been.
das Auto wird man da mitfahren bei der Langstreckenweltmeisterschaft, also der Endurance Championship von der FIA.
Was really intense. With 14,000 kilometers made on a track, so many tests, night and day, wet track, dry track.
Wie gesagt, halt auch
long
24
runs,
Stunden von Le
short
Mans zum Beispiel. Als
long runs,
Beispiel ist auch mit bei.
up to 30 hours of endurance test. We're learning each lap. Was an amazing job done by the team.
Bruno, I imagine starting from zero, you're on a massive learning curve right now. It's a really steep learning curve for the team.
Yeah, that's right. 2024 will be really a learning season. We need to make sure the car is reliable first, and then to develop its performance within the frame of very specific technical regulations. We will go step by step, but we will compete among the grids.
The bar's pretty high, though, isn't it, in this sport?
It is. The car is new, the driver lineup is new, part of the team is new. There's a lot to do. We will remain very humble, what doesn't mean that we are not ambitious. We are we have all a racing spirit. We will push hard and we will do our best to fight from the very first race in Qatar.
Well, speaking of drivers,
Wie gesagt,
an impressive
das Katar ist
lineup.
das
I know everyone is
Langstreckenrennen.
eager to find out who will be
Hi,
in which
Schumacher.
car. So, Philippe, I believe you have some news for us.
Yes, absolutely. I am so proud to introduce you racing on the car 36, Nicolas Lapierre, Mick Schumacher,
Mick
Mathieu
Schumacher.
Vaxivière, and on the car 35, Paul Duchatin, Charles Milesi, Ferdinand Asbourg, and we have a reserve driver, a newcomer, Jules Gounon. Everybody knows Jules as a fantastic GT driver. Welcome, Jules, on board.
Well, I tell you what, let's hear from them, shall we? Please, give a huge
Also
warm
für
welcome
die Endurance
to
fährt er
Mick
mit, ja.
Schumacher, Nicolas Lapierre, Mathieu Vaxivière, Paul Duchatin, Ferdinand Habsburg, Charles Milesi and Jules Gounon.
Ferdinand Habsburg, Junge!
Habsburg.
Ich würde mal sagen, weil in der Langstrecke sind einfach Mick Schumacher und Ferdinand Habsburg.
It's wonderful to have you all here today alongside your car.
Aber
for
ja,
the
es ist halt so,
season
bei
ahead.
Mick
Let's go a
halt
little
kein
bit
Platz
deeper
gibt, der
into it,
Formel 1
because
aktuell für
Nicolas,
seine
you and
zwei
Philippe, you've got a long
Endurance.
history together, 3 wins in Le Mans, many seasons together. You've developed this hypercar program together and you were the prototype test driver for it. How's it been? What does it feel like to be here now today?
Yeah, it was a great honor and a pleasure to drive and develop this A424. This development phase is now over, but that was just the beginning of our journey, and now we are going to race with it. Obviously, as Bruno says, it's going to be a learning season, but we are really looking forward to race this car in Qatar. I can tell you this car is great to drive, and I cannot wait to race in a few weeks.
Thank you, Nicola. Now, Mick, we've followed your career from F4 through to F1. Tell us how you decided to make the move to Alpine.
Yeah, I mean, I think the move was quite clear. Obviously, the closeness to Formula One, but also just a whole new project and everybody very ambitious to get going. And it just really sparked that kind of flame in me to want to go and race here. So happy to be here, and I guess the feeling is kind of mutual.
And how have you found it so far? What are the biggest differences between this and the F1 car?
I mean, the differences are big. I mean, we're trying to essentially bring it over the line 24 hours later. So it's good and be sharing the car with two very experienced drivers. I'm very excited for it.
Ja,
Yes, more
das ist
teammates
eine
do this rather
Meisterschaft,
than
wie
you
gesagt,
do.
halt.
Yeah.
Die Endurance Champions.
And Paulo, if I can come to you. Last year you were in pole position at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. You were victorious
Ich glaube,
in IMSA
die fahren jetzt
as
auch,
well. You're joining
glaube ich, auch diese
Alpine and Philippe, who you know very
24-Stunden-Rennen
well,
und
I
so,
know. So how are you
so welche
feeling right
Dinge
now?
auch.
Habe ich ja auch gesagt, dass Le Mans gehört da auch mit zu, wie gesagt, halt.
Richtig.
On to all this French flag, bleu, blanc, rouge, as light as possible in endurance racing.
Also die
Und-
I remember many years ago, Philippe and I
Und ich finde, dass, ich sag mal, für mich ist das so okay, ne, zu sagen, er macht das. Für mich macht das nur ein bisschen problematisch, er fährt dann ein Auto und nicht ein Formel 1 Auto. So klar, es ist ein Unterschied, aber das ist halt...
Aber sagen wir so, er muss halt irgendwie ein bisschen fahren, sonst ist er komplett raus.
Thank you very
Das
much.
ist
And
die
you're- it sounds like
das ist die
they are
Sportklasse,
ready
so war er auch
for
mal
the
raus.
challenge.
Also es geht halt schon.
Perhaps you could tell us a bit more
Übrigens,
about
es
how
gibt
you
8
decided
Rennen in
to
der
divide up the
Endurance
cars.
Championship. Die 1812 Kilometer von Katar, 6 Stunden von Imola, Spa gibt es nochmal hier. Also die 6 Stunden von wie gesagt, halt von Spa, die 24 Stunden von Le Mans, die 6 Stunden von São Paulo, was ist das?
And some natural affinities
Lone
as well
Star Le
within
Mans.
those teams.
Yes, and at the end was not difficult. Was an evidence for us.
Ah, okay.
I have
Circuit
to
of the
say
Americans.
to bring
6
up
Stunden
for
lang.
that.
Well, I think it's going to be an exhilarating season.
6 Stunden
and,
Fuji
one we're wishing
und
the whole
8
team
Stunden
the
von
very best
Bahrain.
for
Also
starting
das sind
with
die 8
Qatar,
Rennen,
of
die die
course.
fahren.
Please, can you give a big round of
Du
applause?
hast halt normalerweise
and
immer
a
6
thank
Stunden Rennen,
you
bis
to
auf
our
natürlich
drivers
halt
and to Philippe. Thank
bis
you very
natürlich Le
much.
Mans,
Thank
das
you.
sind 24, wer jetzt erwartet.
And now it is time to talk Formula One. Bruno, if we may. Promises to be a busy and intense campaign. I think we all know there are 24
Aber good
races
luck,
in
Mick.
this
Mal
record
schauen,
racing
vielleicht wenn
season
Lewis
come
nächstes
from
Jahr geht,
March
vielleicht ist
through
Platz
to
offen.
December. So
Hopium
Bruno,
ist
I
an.
want to ask you
Glaubst
first
du nicht,
of all,
aber wer
as
weiß.
team principal, what did you learn from the 2023
Nee,
season?
Ferdinand kommt rein.
First, we really look inwards on self-criticize ourselves, and then we identify challenges and we focus on
Dann
solutions.
hat royales Blut.
Now we
Da
are
kommt er
full.
schon rein irgendwie.
Ja, wow, Alter.
At the end of
Königsklasse.
2023, we
Und der hat Inzestblut, ja, das ist richtig, aber ob es reicht, um hier vorne mitzufahren?
What changes have you implemented then for 2024?
When I became team principal in mid
Alter, wie die da alle gucken, ey. Weißt du, die da so gar keinen Bock
Alles
drauf.
so motiviert da.
Ja, so die denken sich alle, können wir endlich mal den Kack-Band, ich will jetzt ein Auto fahren, so der Kacke.
Richtig. Also ich finde das von, ich sag mal, wie Haas gemacht hat, einfach ein kurzes Minutenvideo und dann viele Fotos zeigen, besser als du musst dir jetzt eine verdammte Show angucken, wo gefühlt die eine Frau sagt, seid ihr gehypt auf das Auto?
Ne, ich find's ja okay, wenn man eine Präsentation macht, aber dann sollten die halt nicht so viel Laberei, sondern ein bisschen unterstützen mit Material, weil sie labern halt so viel. Das ist halt das Problem.
Letztes Jahr ging Alpine eine Stunde, heute nur 40 Minuten.
We decided to create
Yeah.
two new roles.
Das sind
The
20
same
Minuten weniger. Ich würde nicht sagen, letztes Jahr ging Ferrari ganze 2 Stunden.
manage really the
Ja,
day-to-day
uff.
business and operations of both sides, both companies, two different companies. And like that, I will have more time to dedicate to my role of team principal and VP Motorsport.
Well, I wouldn't be a journalist if I didn't ask you who's got the jobs. Who are taking on those CRO roles?
Then we will have John Woods in Enstone, who will join in 1 month's time. And in Viry, we are going to have Audrey Vastrou. She's already the operation director of Viry Châtillon factory. And both of them, I'm sure, will bring a wealth of experience to the whole team Alpine Racing.
Great, big news for the team. Now, just before we see the car, I've got one last question for you. What can you tell me about the approach that you've taken to this A524 this year?
It's bold and very excited now, to be honest, because I think not many people have seen the car yet, and we push really hard. And thank you to Matt and all the team and everybody in Enstone.
They're cooking.
Doing that, but first, you said it, but I want to say it again, it's super important, it's the real car. It's the real 2024 car, the A524. Everything is not only a livery, then it's very important. 2024 is really a bold approach. It's a completely new car, front to back. And Matt will explain us a bit later more in detail.
All right, brilliant. Well, I know that's what you've come for. You want to see these cars unveiled. As Bruno said, it is the real car. The team have been working incredibly hard to get it ready for you to see the real thing today and not just a livery. So, shall we have a look at it? Ladies and gentlemen, I pronounce the A524.
Hey, endlich. Ja.
Was zum... Erstmal, Pierre Gasly! Oh nein, okay, das
Weißt
ist
du, das-
Bild. Komm ich noch ab zu.
Das Pinke hat mich ja komplett gesagt, so, boah.
Das Pinke gehört halt
ja
durch, man, das ist BWT, das war schon immer so. Was ja auch okay ist. Die richtige Pink Livery, die ist ja meistens so ein paar Rennen, von dem ist ja okay. Weil das Blaue ist halt eine coole Farbe, muss ich da sagen.
Richtig. Das war ein Überholmanöver an seinen Teamkollegen, also. Ocon auf 3, Gasly auf 3.
So, seid ihr hyped? Also ich weiß, wie es aussieht, aber seid ihr hyped? Oh mein Gott, es ist so 90% Carbon, Junge! Ey! Oh mein Gott.
Es ist so schrecklich und
guckt euch die Scheiße an. Es ist wirklich 10% Farbe, 90% Carbon.
Und die
Carbonmeter.
Ja,
Und die Farben.
Well, that deserves a round of applause, don't you think?
Nicht so rein. Guck dir das. Also, wir
I
haben,
saw you all
ich hab
getting
ein
your
Foto
phones out.
gesehen,
Pierre was
wo
getting
das
his phone
Car
out in the
von
front row there to
oben
take a picture of
gefotogt
his
wurde.
new
Und ich
car
hab
for this
innerlich
season.
gekotzt.
It looks fantastic. You've got
It
a
looks
striking
fantastic,
delivery
ja,
by
definitiv.
Felipe Pantone here this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Also ey, du weißt doch, weniger Farbe, weniger Gewicht.
Ich sagte, dass die Meter.
Ich weiß, aber dumm.
So scheiße dumm.
And you've got some new partners too.
Yeah, we are really pleased to welcome in the Alpine family H. Moser and Company, our new timekeeper and business solver as well.
Neue Werbung.
And will we see pink livery this year?
Yeah, for sure. We are going to see.
Woran merkt man, dass er Franzose ist? For sure.
Livery in a couple of opportunities, a bit more than a
bei der
couple,
Ubisoft
some
PK.
opportunities. And I would like
Bist du sicher?
to thank all our loyal
Ich meine,
partners.
jetzt mal zu dem Auto. Es ist ja nicht schlimm, wenn der Frontflügel schwarz ist. Schwarz ist eine coole Farbe. Carbon ist auch mit diesem. Carbon hat auch eine coole Farbe. Dieses dunkle Schwarz ist schon ganz nice, aber dass halt der komplette Body auch schwarz ist, ist halt schon, naja.
There is a camera there,
Und du wirklich nur so Akzente-Farbe hast, damit du weißt, okay, es ist Alpine.
Naja. But we need a bit of a countdown
das
from all of you
zweite-
in order to see
Ja,
this
das
pink
pinke Auto wieder.
livery and get the covers taken off. So
Das
if we could have a
pinke.
3, 2, 1, they'll
Ja,
reveal the pink livery for us. So 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Er muss das abziehen.
es ist halt legitim fast kein Unterschied. Es ist fast kein Unterschied, das Auto zu erkennen.
Es ist nur vorne blau und das andere einfach pink. Aber
ja, es ist wirklich nur, du hast den Akzent vorne, der ist pink. Der Rest ist komplett gleich.
Das so. Mich stört das Bild bisher weniger, weil es so dezent ist.
Two looks for the price of one. Absolutely
What the
fantastic.
fuck, Alter. Das Auto ist halt fast 1:1 gleich. Deswegen, sagen wir so, man kann von Pink halten, was du willst, aber letztes Jahr hatte man einen Unterschied. Jetzt ist der Unterschied so marginal, das interessiert doch keinen Schwanz.
I'd like to welcome
Dafür
to the stage the man who is behind it, the Alpine's technical director.
Letztes Jahr
Please
gab
welcome
es
to
die
the stage
pinke Livery
Matt
für 2
Harmon.
Rennen. Dieses Jahr für 8.
Ja, wow, krass. Man
Macht nicht den Unterschied, weil es nicht Unterschied zum
It's
Original
great to see you, Matt. And as Bruno said, this
Also,
has been a very
tut mir
bold
leid, also
approach. So can you
die
talk us
Car
through
Varial
the
hat,
design
also das
philosophy on
mit die
this car?
Farbe und so, das haben Alpine richtig verschissen.
Das ist echt scheiße.
Ne, also andere Sachen mit so Kick, ne? Das finde ich, das Auto hat sich echt gut, da haben sie das echt gut ein bisschen Arbeit gesetzt und ein bisschen mehr Grünton reingepackt als nur schwarz, so ungefähr. Haas hat das halt Standard gelassen und ne, fucking, ne, ich sag mal so, das andere Auto Williams haben auch clever gemacht und haben Blautöne mehr eingesetzt und schwarz halt ein bisschen.
Ja, kommen wir gleich mal zu, warte mal kurz. Also.
We decided to take a very bold approach. As Bruno said, it's a brand new car from front to back. I think only the steering wheel survived. So, you know, we've really tried to look at every single area of the car to make sure that we leave no stone unturned. And we give ourselves a car that can have potential through the year. We plateaued a little bit in 523, and I think with this car, I think we have that potential. If we start with the front wing, you'll see a completely new philosophy there, structurally very challenging, as they always are. But it's a front wing that will give us a good load, a good aero balance, but also a good speed, aero balance with speed characteristic, which is very important to us. It's very tricky in here. You know, it has a homologation requirement, as we know, with the nose, and it's important that we do a good job of that. But we also do it with a good structure, with a good mass. So, you know, that was a real good body of work done by the people at Enstone. Moving further back, with the braking system of the car. It's very complex. It's very important with the brakes, as I'm sure you're all aware with your cars that you drive every day. It's very important to be consistent and precise. And both Esteban and Pierre really do need to be consistent and precise on the braking system. That is the first order. But after that, it's also an aerodynamic device. We need to cool the brakes, we need to cool the calipers, we need to cool the brake disc, but we also need to manage the temperature going into the tyres. And that's done by a combination of not just the blankets that you'll see on the television, but also the manner in which we let heat pass through into the carcass of the tyre. So we spend a lot of time on this, optimising that, making sure that it's aerodynamically capable and it fits with the rest of the front end of the car. The front suspension is a similar concept to we had on the A523, but it is much more optimised. The kinematics are very different. The inboard suspension is slightly changed to give us more flexibility and understanding on how we can control that. If we move further back, one of the big areas that we focused on this year was the chassis. We made sure that we squeezed every single thing that we could. We need to make sure the driver is comfortable. Esteban, don't worry, you will be comfortable in the car. It's really, really important for their ability to drive. But equally, we also need to push. We need to push the structures, and we also need to give the underbody of the car the ability to increase the flow rate through the car. And I'll talk about a little bit about that later. But fundamentally, the chassis has been designed to give us the maximum amount of volume for our aerodynamicists to express themselves freely in terms of concepts, not only for the launch car, but for the first, second, third, fourth race upgrades. As we move on further back through the car, we get to the power unit. We know the power unit is broadly homologated. That does not mean it is entirely fixed. There are a number of things that we can do to make sure that we install the power unit well into the car, making best use of all the hard work that is done by Liverys Chatillon. It's really, really important that we do that. We make a lot of calculations on how we maintain all of the work done by the engine. So, for example, we've integrated the tailpipe that exits the engine into the suspension carrier around by the transmission, basically to straighten it, to reduce the pressure drop across there, making sure that every single bit of work done by the power unit is delivered at the crankshaft and therefore at the rear wheels. We've also moved the ERS unit forward, so the battery pack, as we may call it. We've moved it rearwards, So we've moved it rearwards towards the engine to help us with that weight distribution of the car. It's quite a reasonable weight in the car, and we've moved it. It's very optimal, but it really helps when we move it in that direction. Moving rearwards, again, we sort of move into the rear suspension, the transmission side of the car. Another challenge that we always have with the racing cars is we want optimal mass.
Aber er sagt ja ganz gut so, das ist halt ein Unterschied in diesem Auto. Der Flügel ist erstmal größer und hat eine leicht andere Sache, leicht andere Form. Wie gesagt, Chassis ist jetzt ein bisschen ausgebaut worden und wie gesagt, hinten hat er auch gesagt, so, der Auspuff ist ein bisschen straighter, du hast ihn jetzt ein bisschen besser hinten rausbekommen, aber es sind halt wie gesagt so Nuance-Geschichten. Es ist nicht so wie beim letzten Mal, wo ich die Regeländerung war, dass sie so verändert, aber es sind diese Nuancen, die sie am Auto verändert. Sie sagen zwar, er hat zwar gesagt jetzt gerade, das Auto ist komplett verändert, aber es sind in meinen Augen nicht nur so Nuancen-Dinger.
Moving further back, we get towards the rear suspension. The inboard rear suspension has been completely revised. The outboard suspension is also the same. We've got a brand new kinematic on the rear suspension that allows us to make and take an advantage from the manner in which the car behaves under certain conditions around the track. We've also tried to make sure that we optimize it aerodynamically. We took a little bit of an aerodynamic hit for taking that kinematic, but we believe we will drive through that. We were already back to where we started, and we believe we will get well and far beyond as we develop the rear of the car further. As we move more to the rear wing is an area where I think we could have done better last year. There were certain tracks where we weren't as efficient as we wanted to be in terms of the downforce versus drag. Monza was one in particular. We learned from that. We designed some new things. We went to Las Vegas. We raced there. We understood some things. We included that in this car design. This year, this car, the rear wings will be matched more heavily towards each individual event, making sure that for certain types of downforce versus drag requirement, that we're more optimal, we're closer to where we want to be from an optimum lap time. Coming back round towards the rear braking systems, very, very similar to the front. Good concept, management of thermal behaviour, precision of the brakes, exactly the same as the front. Now we get onto the floor and bodywork. We all know that predominantly the floor creates an awful lot of the downforce of our car. It's a real driver for a lot of the performance upgrades that we will see. And an awful lot of the work that we've done in the centre of the car is to free up volume and space to express ourselves properly with that floor. You will also see on the edge of the floor, there's some fantastic design work gone in here. We've got some very interesting elements on the floor that allow us to make the most of the air passing over that area. And that actually is in combination with the bodywork. Now, one of the things that you can't see as I stand here right now is underneath the bodywork. And under there is what we call the internal bodywork. So there is another set of bodywork which you cannot see. And this allows us to control all of the mass flow through the car from the beginning as it enters into the sidepod all the way through to the rear. That allows us, to make sure that we optimise the cooling behaviour of the car. We were a little bit more open than we would like to have been last year. This year, we were in a much better position. That reduces the drag of the car and allows us to have an optimum lap time. We've also controlled a lot of the thermal behaviour under there. So, for example, we try not to cool the exhaust. That sounds very counterintuitive, but cooling the exhaust takes away the energy of the exhaust. Taking away the energy of the exhaust.
Wird man sehen, aber er hat ja gesagt, wie gesagt, vor allem der Heckflügel ist jetzt ein bisschen angepasst, da war er nicht zufrieden mit letztes Jahr, da ein bisschen angepasst und wie gesagt halt unten der Unterboden und generell der Airflow unten, den haben sie jetzt ein bisschen angepasst. Gucken mal, ob das was bringt.
I think we'll see where we are when we go to the Bahrain test. But we will be relentlessly upgrading this car, and we have an awful lot of potential to extract. We've not anywhere near achieved all of it just yet, so I look forward to it.
Great, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, Matt. Right, shall we meet the trio of drivers who will be in the cockpit for this 24-race record-breaking season? They've been studying the car closely. Please welcome to the stage Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly and reserve driver Jack Doohan. Did you get your photo? You're going to do a selfie after, aren't you? I know you are.
Wie weit will Esteban wegstehen? Ja.
What do you think?
Hello, Rachel. Hello, everyone.
Der ist auch noch im Weg. Oh, ups, muss ein bisschen wegen.
For the first time today. Obviously, it's been built completely. We saw it in drawings. We drove it a lot in the simulator, but to see it for the first time, yeah, it looks very aggressive. And yeah, this car, you know, there's been a
wie die sich hinbewegt haben. Ocons auch keine Scheiße, ich muss wegbewegen. Ist aber Auto im Weg.
Months of development and finally very happy because you know, it's been a long winter, a long preparation, but we are about to get going with that launch. Yeah, everything is starting to kick off now, so yeah, I can't wait to get started.
Joyeux anniversaire, Pierre. Van Wheat, 28 today. I mean, we could sing. Do you want us to sing for you?
No,
okay,
don't do
good.
that, please.
Bitte nicht, nee.
How's this as a birthday?
I can relate
the
that.
best birthday gift I could have hoped for. So no, it's amazing. I know a lot of work I've been done over the past few months. Obviously, we've been involved with Jack and Esteban in the simulator, talking with the guys. But just to see it live, I think a big round of applause for all the guys to get it here, because it's a 2024 car. I think it's the first time we get it all together, and in a couple of weeks' time we're going to be in Bahrain testing for the first time. And yeah, I'm just super excited to get going.
How was your winter, Esteban? I know you went go-karting with Zinedine Zidane. Is his go-karting better than your football, or?
No, he's actually really good. I mean, that shows, how much when you are top athlete, you are good at every sport. But no, since then, a lot have happened. We've been training, preparing as much as we can. And yeah, it's going to be a super long season, 24 races, record-breaking season in that term. So it was very important, to be healthy, to start, to have, a good physical level, for that whole long season. So yeah, I feel sharp, I feel ready. And yeah, from now on, it's all about eyeing, that car and looking forward to being it.
And Pierre, how was your winter? I mean, you went to an Arsenal game and they beat Liverpool. Do I need to remind you Trent's now an investor?
Yeah, I'm a big football fan. It's no surprise to anyone. But no, I mean, it was a great winter. It feels like we were in Abu Dhabi not a long time ago, so we haven't had much of a break. But as Esteban said, we're coming into a record-breaking season, 24 races. It's gonna be intense. We prepared for it physically, mentally.
Wusste ich gar nicht, dass Pierre Arsenal-Fan ist.
Könnte auch Liverpool-Fan sein.
For the first time, and
aber wobei bei dem Remark war wahrscheinlich eher Arsenal, ja.
So no, I'm really feeling amazing, and yeah, I just want to get behind the wheel, behind the car, and really push it to the limit.
Jack, we've seen you enjoying your winter as well, taking on a triathlon.
Yeah, luckily my winter was summer, so I've been a little bit warmer. It's been a bit of a shock coming back the last few days here, hence why I have a big head full of hair. Usually it's shaved, so now I brought some warmth with me, but yeah, I'm not racing this year, so I wanted to still put myself into that sort of environment and throw myself in the deep end. But no, I'm still heavily involved at the team. Another year as reserve driver, spending a lot of time in the simulator, which will be extremely beneficial for me. Also then joining the guys on track, knowing exactly how they're feeling and really where we're heading into the weekend. So that will be good, as well with an extensive testing program in the 2022 and 23 car. So 21 and 22 car, sorry. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the year ahead.
And Esteban, it's your 5th year with the team. Can you set yourself some ambitions and targets for this year, this early on?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, to be continuing the work with the team, with the brand. I've been part of this team for a very long time now. As someone was saying, when I arrived, I was, a lot smaller.
Were you ever that high? I can't imagine you ever being that high.
It sounds like a long time ago, and it was. I joined this team when I was 12 or 13 years old, so yeah, it's more than 10 years, and it's incredible to be continuing and racing in Formula One in the best cars in the world. So yeah, I can't wait to get going. The aim for me is obviously to extract the maximum out of the car every single time. We have a big task, to improve and progress, throughout the year. But yeah, the important is for me that task, to end the season, have no regret, and be happy with what we've done.
And Pierre, 2nd year with the team, as you said, a couple of trophies last season. What are the targets for this year?
Well, hopefully, definitely more trophies coming this year. But no, I think as we said, we came with a bold car, aggressive strategy. We know there's a lot of work ahead of us, but no, definitely ready for it. 2nd year with the team, so definitely.
Ja, aber gerade sagen, das ist nicht das erste Mal, dass man das mitbekommt.
And yeah, excited to get going. Teamwork. We know where we want to be. We want to see the team at the top, and that's where I want to be as well. And yeah, we'll work for that.
And Jack, I know you're not racing this, you don't have a racing program of your own this year. How will you stay sharp? And is this a new aero version? Because you had a shaved head last time we saw you.
Yeah, this is the new.
This is aero development,
this
is it?
Quicker. Yeah, we redesigned the car, redesigned my hair. So no, going all in for 2024. Like I said, I think I have 10 days in the car this year and previous generations, which will be amazing. Just super grateful, obviously, to Alpine and everyone here at the factory, both here in Viry, and for the trust they had behind me to put this testing program towards. And also doing race support, like I said, in the simulator on all the Fridays, which will be extremely valuable for me myself, but also to have another race driver in the simulator as well, handing back to the team. So I look forward to staying sharp, even though I'm not racing.
Well, I've mentioned 24 race season, as you reminded me earlier, though, Esteban. It's 30, really, because you've got 6 sprint weekends. Any of them stand out for you as you look ahead to that
Yeah, I
calendar?
mean, for sure. I mean, every year, you know, I got a couple of favorite circuits. You know, Suzuka, Budapest are definitely the ones that stands out for me. You know, really, you know, cool flow, and the Formula One car really comes alive. You know, in those times when you go through those circuits. You know, really high grip, cool places, and yeah, I can't wait to be sitting in that and experience that in those places.
And which race are you looking
Ocon und
forward to
Gasly
taking this
sind
one
ja
out?
so gute Freunde.
To start the first one, then second, and the third. I mean, every race is gonna be, you know, we're gonna come with the same mentality and try to deliver the best job we can. Yeah, as you say, 30 races.
So schief gehen wieder mit beiden
We
nochmal.
know we'll have to work hard at the start and see where we stand in Bahrain at the first test of the season. But it's gonna be a long season. They're gonna be great chances, and yeah, we'll make sure we're there to get them.
Not long to go, just a couple of weeks until the car's on track. Thank you very much to Esteban, to Pierre, and to Jack. And that concludes this, I think so. I think a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
That concludes the Alpine 2024 Motorsports launch. We've heard from drivers across World Endurance, Formula One, and we've seen the real machines today. They're ready to take on a very busy global campaign. 2024 has definitely started, and we're very excited to see what Alpine Motorsports can achieve. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you to you wherever you are watching this from. It's been a pleasure to have you along, and we will see you on track very soon. Bye-bye.
Wir haben diese 40 Minuten überlebt, also...
Echt mal. Also was ich von hier aus sagen kann, auch hier gleiches Ding, ich glaube oben der obere Lufteinlass ist wieder größer. Ja. Wie gesagt, der Bodywork und so unten ist anders, haben sie ja schon gesagt. Guck ja gerade mal drüber das alte Auto. Ansonsten, wie gesagt, hat sich nicht so viel verändert, meiner Meinung nach, von außen her zumindest. Als Innere sehr viel. So hätte ich halt geschätzt, als ich es gerade beflogen habe.
Richtig.
Sonst irgendwas zum Auto zu sagen?
Nö, also wie gesagt, das mit der Farbe ist ja, naja, aber gut.
Richtig, wenn wir das Bewertungssystem so richtig ansetzen, würde ich da wirklich eine 2 geben. Also das ist echt scheiße abgelaufen. Ich würde da jedes Mal, wenn ich sehe, dass so ein Auto jedes Mal hinter mir im Rückspiegel ist, ne, ich fahre ja selber ein paar Mal F1 selber, da würde ich jedes Mal sagen, oh, da ist das, ich sag mal, schöne Alpine-Auto, Kappa.
Naja, schon.
Ja,
schade, aber mal gucken, wie es auf der Strecke performt. Ich würde sagen, über Mittelfeld kommen sie trotzdem mit. Aber mal gucken.
Richtig.
Oh, nice. Ich sehe gerade auf dem offiziellen Alpine Channel haben sie ein Video hochgeladen namens Carbon Fiber. Sie zeigen überall, wo du Carbon Fiber siehst.
Wow, krass, Alpine, ich bin begeistert.
Ja. Hey. Geil. Hashtag, ich gebe jetzt das erste Hashtag Carbon-Saison. Also, wenn die
ich kann jetzt einfach, sie machen es immer ein bisschen lustig, weil dann sagen sie Carbon Fiber!
Carbon Fiber!
Immerhin ist es ein bisschen mit Humor.
Wenn die nächsten 3 Autos, wirklich, die nächsten 3 Autos für euch, liebe Zuschauer, sind ja, Red Bull Cash App da.
Racing Pool.
Racing
die
Pool?
heißen nicht, die heißen Cash App RB.
So, ich glaube RB ist schon Racing Pool.
Ja, halt Racing Bull, Aston Martin und fucking Ferrari mit wirklich auch mit so richtig Schwarzanteil sehr viel ist. Dann schreibe ich jedes scheiß Twitter-Ding von Formel 1 Hashtag Carbon-Saison. Dass man jedes Ding mit Carbon sieht. Das ist...
Ich würde sogar hier mal Grüße an Matt von Matt und Tommy. Er hat gesagt, ich könnte es mir sogar... Oder, nee, es war Matt, der es gesagt hat. Er hat gesagt, ich könnte sogar vorstellen, wenn Ferrari das inzwischen macht. Und ich gebe ihm recht. Ich würde es jetzt auch nicht mehr ausschließen,
also
leider.
Ich habe schon so Snippets vom Racing Pool gesehen.
Mhm.
Die Snippets, die ich gesehen habe, waren Carbon.
Gucken wir mal.
Liebe Zuschauer, wir sehen uns wieder morgen dann wieder zum Red Bull Racing Bull Carbon.
Ja, wir werden sehen, aber ja, viel haben wir, glaube ich, nicht zu sagen. Von dem her, man sieht sich.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.